wide open roadways of downtown Phoenix shining as dusk falls. It's the home of the Suns here in Phoenix, Arizona, as 2K Sports brings you today's live action from the U.S. Airways Center. And now we take a brief check at the matchups. Our starting five for both teams. And guys, what are we going to be looking for in this one from Bledsoe?
He's the kind of guy who can take control, lifts up his teammates when they need a boost, and when other guys aren't bringing that aggressiveness to the floor. He's the one that kind of gathers his teammates around, lets them know what's needed to win the game that night.
And also, there aren't many players better at anticipating an opponent's next move, waiting for his moment and then jumping in the way of a pass to come up with the steal. He's got that mastered.
Looking at San Antonio, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Clippers. And that was a real body blow for them. They got taken apart. .146 left here in the first quarter. Outside Dragic. Good on the triple. Dragic has got 5.
Good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
1:32 left in the first quarter.
Well, Jeff Hornacek, the new coach of the Phoenix Suns, a 14-year career as an NBA shooting guard, and he was terrific as a player. Spent his first 6 in Phoenix and only recently really got into coaching, starting as an assistant with the Jazz in early 2011.
Bonner's shot good.
Everybody on the floor is hot. Incredible stuff here in the early stages.
Tell you what, both teams playing downhill. Who's going to blink first?
Here's Newman. Pass to Morris. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. You look at Phoenix. They reside in the 7th slot right now in the early part of the season. And checking out San Antonio, 4 games back.
For the Spurs, they've started the season in a tailspin. This was not what was supposed to happen.
It's almost like they were too relaxed coming into the season. I mean, you can't just expect to be good. You've got to earn it in this league. It's too competitive.
And back to Coach Hornacek, the 16th coach in Suns franchise history. He's raised his 3 kids in Phoenix. Stevie's put down roots there. Looks like he would like to stay for the long term.
Well, he was a tremendous player for the Suns back during the prime of his career. So this is a great fit, coaching the Suns. A guy who played the game with tremendous intelligence and an even-keeled demeanor. Should serve him well as a head coach.
Pass to Christmas. Off target from 3-point range. San Antonio leading by 9. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. And Leonard gets it to go on the assist by Mills. Leonard's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Newman, the pass to Morris. Here's Newman. Out left to the wing. And that will fall. The 3-pointer on the line for Morris.
This is great. 3-pointers going down quickly at both ends.
Yeah, it took them no time to answer back on that possession.
And they're scoring pretty well. Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Spurs.
You got to like the consistency they're showing with that mid-range shot.
They've also shown some real tenacity here early on tonight, and it's paid off with a lot of second chance points.
On the court for San Antonio here in the second. Tony Parker is out there with J.J. Redick, and it's Duncan. Then there's Austin Day, and it's Ginobili in at the 3 side.
One thing I think that's helped extend Tim Duncan's peak effectiveness, he was dealing with knee issues recently, but he committed to losing weight and slimmed down by over 25 pounds to take away some of that wear and tear on his joints. And, over the last couple of seasons, it certainly seems to have revitalized him.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, Z in the last matchup against the Warriors had a huge game. He finished with 24 points, and that scoring outburst set a new season high for him in what was a great exhibition on his part. Just absolutely incredible numbers from him in a game you didn't want to miss. So glad we were here to watch it, Kevin.
Great job, Doris. Thank you, guys. It's going to be very interesting to see if he can stay on a roll like that tonight.
I agree with you there. I mean, he obviously hit on something that brought out the best in him, and you can be sure he's going to take the exact same approach in this one.
Definitely. And as confident a player as he already was, now he's got to be feeling that.
That's his first personal foul. First team foul. Substitution on the court.
There's 31 seconds left in the first half. Mills with it, now guarded by Newman, and Joseph kicks to Leonard. The three from Mills, and he gets the bucket. Mills has got 5. 20 seconds left to play here in the half. Here's Newman. A 24-point outing in their last game against Golden State.
And he was disruptive defensively, too. Kevin, really aggressively trying to make plays. In fact, he had 4 steals during that game.
Barbosa gets the bucket. Just 4 seconds left here in the second. Mills. Shot, no good. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Suns lead by 2. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Tony Parker. And Tony, a lot of tough play out there in that first half. How would you describe this game so far?
A lot of intensity, very physical. We're playing pretty well, but I'm not very happy the way we finished the first half. We had a good lead, and they came back on us, so in the second half, we have to do it again.
Tony, thank you so much. Kevin, a guy who's never satisfied.
Thank you so much, Doris. Great.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Hello and welcome.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
It's stolen by Green. Newman in at point guard. Okafor out there with Channing Frye. And it's Green, and it's Dragic in at the shooting guard. Who's out there for Phoenix. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Parker dishes to Splitter. Kicks it to Ginobili. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
I have no idea why he was fouling there.
And even the foul, I mean, you can't be wrapping guys up like that. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. That's a meaningless play.
Out of bounds, Phoenix takes possession.
I'll tell you what, wandering aimlessly out of bounds like that might earn him a ticket to the bench.
Phoenix leading by 9.
Well, you know, I tell you what, guys, it's a tough road to hoe when you're trying to rebuild in the Western Conference. There's just no room or margin for error, and teams pile on while you're down.
And the defense looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Yeah, I like that. A foul to save the layup. Make him earn it at the line.
He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line. And back to the Suns in the West. They did finish with the worst record in the conference. They managed only 17 wins, Steve, against other teams in the West.
And that wasn't the worst mark, but it was close. The Suns' problem was that they didn't have a huge inside presence for long stretches of the season. And when you lack depth against teams with tough power forwards or centers out west, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Unloads. They get it back, and it's slammed in by Splitter.
I'll tell you what, they're going to have to do a better job of boxing this fella out than that.
No him in the hoop to right, Clark.
Yeah, put-back slams are not what you want to be giving up if you're the defense.
Here's Okafor. Got it. Good job in the low post. Okafor's got the lead up to 10 now for the Suns.
Well, this quarter has gone awfully well for him. It seems like every chance he's gotten, he's pretty much converted.
Parker passes to Splitter. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Ginobili. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Well, at least the defender got his money's worth on that one.
Yep, that was an easy whistle for the official.
Well, if you're going to learn from someone, you might as well take some lessons from Tim Duncan. That's what Thiago Splitter has done in San Antonio, really kind of blowing up under the tutelage of one of the great players of all time.
Austin Day, he's checked in for San Antonio. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Manu Ginobili. Spurs trail by 8. Mills gets the screen from Day. Redick for 3. Okafor grabs the miss. And Splitter taken 28 by the Spurs way back in the 2007 draft, but they had to wait 3 seasons, Clark, for him to come over from Spain. And as Greg Popovich was saying just this past season, he's finally showing what he can do because he's been healthy.
Yeah, agreed, Kevin, and I think it was a wait worth making, quite honestly. I mean, one of the premier backup centers in the NBA the last 3 seasons, and he earned himself a nice payday with his new contract, too.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Guys, Tony Parker summed up his role this way. Quote, the last 2 or 3 years, it's become my team. Pop is challenging me to become the franchise player. On Tony Parker's greater role, Tim Duncan says, quote, the load has switched over to him. It's a big thing, and he's handled it great. Guys, he's delivered, one of the top 10 players in the league last year.
That's right, Doris. Thanks.
Well, Pop and the team really believe in him. They trust him, and he's rewarding that trust. That's 3 in a row, guys. 3 3-points consecutively. These guys are just raining in shots.
Yeah, the defenders can't be as soft as they've been on the perimeter there.
The pass to Leonard. It's tipped. Here's Green, and it's Green slamming it down.
Well, this is how you completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on-the-ball defense to trigger the transition opportunity.
And it wasn't just the tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Kia. And Redick kicks to Mills. Phoenix grabs the miss. Victory eluded them last time in San Antonio when they took on the Spurs.
And what caused them to lose that last matchup was the mistakes. I mean, they just committed too many turnovers, and they were sloppy with the ball, and that's why they lost.
Again, the miss by the Spurs.
That's his comfort zone, so defensively, really nice job challenging the shot.
Here's Okafor. And it's in. Oh, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
And an ideal finish to the quarter for them as he drains it at the buzzer.
Boy, I like the fact he didn't rush it at all. Fantastic shot.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Suns ahead. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
Well, with this assist, he shows you just what a well-rounded guard he really is. Kind of a combo guard, even though he's listed as a shooting guard. Really a diverse offensive skill set.
We're almost seeing more of that, aren't we? Some guys that have point guard skills that can play both those positions.
For sure.
On the court right now for the Spurs. Down low, it's Duncan and Splitter. Tony Parker is out there with Corey Joseph. And it's Ginobili in at the 3. And even 3-on-3 break. They double-team Ginobili. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. Here's what Phoenix has lined up on their schedule. They're off to Denver after this game as they apply their skills at the Pepsi Center. That will be a getaway game for them, a 1-game road trip. Shot from the inbound. No good off the front iron.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
It's stolen by Duncan. Parker with it. Now defended by Newman. Now Joseph into Tim Duncan. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Well, this guy's an animal on the glass, Kevin. I mean, there may be some bigger and stronger rebounds in the NBA, but nobody plays with this kind of energy and zeal.
And Steve, you know, he's also got a full arsenal of moves in the post. I mean, you can't believe how many tricks this guy has up his sleeves. He's full of them.
Newman, the pass to Okafor. Soft touch off the glass. Okafor's got 10 points in just the second half.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
And giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
Parker against Green. And Joseph kicks to Ginobili. And Okafor with the block. 3-on-3. Here's Green. And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
Boy, he is a strong finisher on the fast break.
Yeah, he sure is. He remains in total control, even at full speed. I love that about it.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Jeff Hornacek had to say to his team. He mentioned the need for more use of the pick and roll. It's a basic component of their offense that he said he hasn't seen nearly enough of. He also went on to say that he wants to see good movement on the perimeter and plays being run to get their outside shooters open. Guys, they're operating under the principle that it's never too late to fine-tune the game plan. Kevin, over to you.
All right, Doris. The offensive rebound, and it's blocked by Fry. And he gets it to go. And the Suns call time here.
Boy, he wants to get everybody on the same wavelength, that's for sure. He may change up some things here as well.
Looks to me like he saw something that wasn't on the plan and picked now as the time to address it. I don't have a problem with that.
J.J. Redick's checked in for the Spurs. Okafor gets the bucket.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. I mean, defensively, the wind has just been knocked out of their sails.
Need to get more bodies committed down low.
Duncan with the screen for Parker. And Phoenix pushing it up now. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam. Just floating to the rim on that slam.
Boy, when he gets up and stays up.
Boy, smooth and graceful. How about the hang time? That's impressive.
Phoenix Suns come into this one following a loss to Golden State. Dishes it to Redick. Doubled by Newman. Redick passes to Ginobili. Spurs passing it around. The Spurs rebound. Parker with it. Now guarded by Newman. Three-pointer. And J.J. Redick good for three.
You can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Suns leading by 20. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Suns.
Forcing turnovers, you want to convert at the other end. That's what this club has done.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
Both free throws good from Newman.
You know, a big part of why the Spurs were so good last season, guys, was that they were able to finish games strong. You think a group of vets might run out of gas, but the opposite was true with this group. They turned it up down the stretch and were one of the most productive teams in the league in terms of fourth quarter points.
13 seconds on the shot clock. 13.
And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth.
Kevin, defensively, they're giving a better effort here in the second half. I mean, they seem to be settled down. They're communicating. They're working together. And that allows you to play good D.
Just 5 on the clock. And that is good. And it's now 23 points for Tony Parker. Well, Clark, a big part of why the Spurs were so good last year in the fourth was because they had so many options when possessions, Steve, start getting critical and the game is tight.
Well, no question. You got Parker to create off the dribble. You can always throw it into the low post to Duncan. But on top of that, you've got a roster full of guys who understand how to play the game and know how to play each other. Just the experience that this group has gained together over the years, I think allows them to execute under pressure.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Bonner, he's checked in for Splitter. Austin Day comes in for Tim Duncan. Kawhi Leonard's checked in for Manu Ginobili. And Corey Joseph subbed in for J.J. Redick. Dame. And it's off from three-point range. Phoenix leading by 22. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Jeff Hornacek had to say to his team. He focused on their offense and said to his guys, make the extra pass. Don't try to play hero ball and do it by yourself. That ends up leading to bad shots. After making that initial point, then he talked about not getting careless defensively. He wants them playing conservatively at that end of the court. Guys, we'll see how coach's direction pays off as this one winds down. Kevin?
Thank you, Doris.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just total obliteration. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Suns.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, Stephen Clark. An all-around dominant performance. Clark, and you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
I certainly did, and they just cracked it open and made it an NC. No contest.
Yeah. And so this will now translate to 14 wins on the season.
Fantastic show put on. What an amazing game all around it was for Z. He just looked like an orchestrator out there, keeping his teammates involved, running to the open spots. I mean, he would constantly find them more often than not.
Joseph dishes to Day. And here's Mills from the arc. No good. And Phoenix the other way now.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
Yeah, he had a really good look. I mean, he'll knock that down more often than not. He's far too tentative in the paint, and even more so when the defender is up tight on him like that time.
It's rejected by Morris. Clark, and they can just let the clock run out here.
No argument with that W.
Newman with the bucket.
And the fans loving what's transpired here tonight. A really good victory for these guys.
Sure was. I mean, they did just what they needed to do to keep the visitors from getting any momentum going at all.
Shot, high post. Shot is up. So it's the Suns winning easily here. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Yes, guys, I'm here with Goran Dragic. And Goran, what a nice show the team put on for your fans tonight.
Yeah, great game for us, for our fans. They were amazing. This kind of games is really enjoying to play. We are hustling on every play, defense and offense, and I'm really happy that we won that game.
You enjoyed it, and we enjoyed it. Thank you, Goran. Guys, back to you.
Doris, thank you. And for Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, and the rest of our great 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us as Jordan presents our player of the game, Z.
Greetings, this is your captain speaking. We've been cleared for landing for an on-time arrival into the Mile High City. Enjoy your stay in Denver.